So this project is very, very dear to my heart because this is my home, the home in which I have just recently sold. It is a home that LittleStar and myself have worked on piece by piece over the last 10 years. The first big push was I had a year to get this house ready to move in. I'll move away from the street here to move in so that we could have our fourth child in the house. So I had a deadline that I had to meet, and so that was about 10 years ago now. We went gangbusters on it because this house, as you'll see from the pictures, was in rough shape. It was rat infested. It was it hadn't been touched properly for probably, I don't know, since the 70s. Some of the renos were really not done to my liking at all. So I ripped into the main part of this home to get it livable, and then I chipped away at the rest of it with our team over the next following years. The interesting thing about this house is it's got quite an awesome story. It was built in North Van out of trees from the property. Now, I'm not really a fan of log homes myself. I did used to build them once upon a time, but it's too much wood for me. So if it was my choice, I probably wouldn't have gone for this home. But the price was right. The hard thing about a log home is that if it wasn't built in the way that you wanted it built, you can't just fill in a window, for instance, or take a window out or change the color. It is what it is, and it's an extremely hard process to try and infuse good design into a pre-existing log home. It was definitely a challenge and a stretch. So this house I consider it my art piece. There's some things that haven't been done, like these are the original windows. Just couldn't do it all. But one of the big jobs was the outside of this house was very short-sightedly painted in high gloss brown paint. Bad idea. Water can get in behind it. You don't know what's going on. I ground this entire house off. You can see this elevation here. All the way back to the raw material, painstakingly and lovingly, and then restained it with a really good product, so it looks way better. You can see the logs are all many different sizes here. Nowadays log homes are built with massive trees. This was built out of logs from this piece of property, and in the 1940s it used to sit on that lot, and then in the 80s they moved it over to a new foundation, and the lady subdivided all of the land she owned. Mount Seymour Parkway was a dirt road back then. So yeah, challenging project to do. The original house upstairs, none of the log work was exposed. It was all covered, which is crazy. Some of the logs were wallpapered over. I wanted to expose it all. So doing this with permits, it obviously gave some challenges, as it's not a run-of-the-mill standard project. It's a bit messy out here right now because we are actually packing up to move. But I wanted to just show you the journey of renovations through this house, and I hope you enjoy it as much as, well, you won't enjoy it as much as I did, but I hope you enjoy seeing the big changes we made to this very unique home.